Hello, my name is Tanya Morning Star Darling, and I'd like to share with Rising Wines Collective a little bit about one of my favorite grape varieties, Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir is one of the most ancient grape varieties originating in eastern central France. In fact, it was described in detail by Romans as existing in Bourgogne when they arrived in the 2nd century AD. Pinot Noir is highly mutable and adapts readily to the environment in which it's grown. This belies its ancientness in that it's just a little bit wild in that way. And thus, there's an incredible genetic diversity within the variety and an endless nuance in the wines that it crafts. Fun fact, the seemingly unique varieties of Pinot Gris, Pinot Blanc, and Pinot Meunier are actually genetic mutations of Pinot Noir. The pink-skinned Pinot Gris, the white-skinned Pinot Blanc, and Pinot Meunier, the lighter-skinned red mutation most commonly found in the Marne Valley of Champagne. It's unclear who Pinot Noir's parents are, as its birth predates written document in the area. But we do know that along with its prolific partner, Pinot Blanc, Pinot Noir has given birth to many of the world's most beloved varieties, such as Chardonnay, Aligoté, Sauvignon of the Jura, and Gamay of Beaujolais. Its extreme adaptability to the place where it's grown is the reason that people have long been able to identify that this grape can craft wines that are completely different, even if they come from adjacent plots right next to each other. This makes it a natural to be selected to tell a monovarietal story about the place in which it was raised. And it's for this reason that Pinot Noir is almost never blended with other varieties. This practice of crafting wines from a single grape variety is both a risk and a strength. A risk because in a difficult year, you can't compensate for the weakness of that grape variety by supporting it with another, as is the tradition in Bordeaux with the Cabernets and Merlot, for example. But this is also precisely Pinot Noir's superpower, because the characteristics of specific sites are best expressed through this wily variety. Pinot Noir tends to craft wines with relatively high alcohol and acidity, depending on climate, of course. So in that way, it can be rather full on the palate. And yet it has thin skins and tends to produce wines with very fine tannins, as well as wines which are light in color. So the wines it crafts are really dynamic. Pinot Noir has a long vegetative cycle, early bud break and late maturity. If allowed to develop slowly, it will have very complex aromatics. For this reason, the best wines are made from Pinot Noir that's grown in cool climates where it can ripen very slowly. Its primary fruit characteristics typically consist of cherry and strawberry, spice, cola, with secondary and tertiary aromas of earth, leather, violets, clove, sandalwood, smoke, and even truffles. Our wine today is from the Willamette Valley's Chehalem Mountain AVA. As you can see, it has kind of a beautiful ruby, clear ruby color. On the nose, it's kind of a cherry compote, subtle vanilla, raspberry, and an earthy, clean forest aroma, along with just a little bit of cola and spice. It's complex and yet subtle, with just a little, kind of a pleasurable integration of new oak. It's smooth, with silky tannins and a mouth-watering acidity. This wine is elegant, and it's delicious now, but I think it will improve over the next 5 years to develop more complex, earthy, and floral characteristics. Pinot Noir is truly a magnificent grape to fall in love with, especially if you're interested in discovering what makes wines unique from different places. I wish you pleasure and joy in discovering this most noble grape variety.